True confidence doesn't come from external validation, which is a hollow and unreliable source of self-worth. Relying on the praise, approval, or affirmation of others is like building your foundation on shifting sand. When the compliments stop, when the criticism arrives, or when you face indifference, your entire sense of self can crumble. This dependency makes you a puppet to the opinions of others, constantly adjusting your actions, words, and even your true self to fit what you believe people want to see. This is not confidence. It is an act, and it leaves you in a constant state of anxiety and insecurity. The path to real confidence begins with a radical shift. You must become the sole and final judge of your own worth. This shift requires you to cultivate an internal compass. Instead of asking, "What will they think of me?" you must ask, "Am I being true to my own principles?" The actions you take should be a reflection of your own values, not a performance for an audience. When you stop seeking applause and start seeking alignment with your core beliefs, you begin to build a robust sense of self that is immune to outside influence. This doesn't mean you ignore feedback. It means you process it through the filter of your own inner knowing. You can acknowledge a critique without allowing it to define your value. This is the difference between a person who is secure in their own skin and one who is constantly seeking reassurance. The addiction to external validation is a deep-seated habit, often formed early in life. We are taught to seek approval from parents, teachers, and peers. But as an adult, this habit becomes a cage. It holds you back from taking risks, from speaking your truth, and from pursuing what truly matters to you because you are too afraid of what others might say or think. To break free, you must deliberately choose to do things that matter to you, even if they are not popular or receive no recognition. You must learn to find satisfaction in the effort itself, in the pursuit of mastery, and in the quiet knowledge that you are honoring your own potential. The reward is the work. Think of it like this. A truly confident artist doesn't create for the gallery opening. They create because the art must come out of them. A confident athlete doesn't train for the cheer of the crowd. They train because they are driven to be better than they were yesterday. Their motivation is intrinsic. It is a fire that burns from within, and it is fueled by a deep-seated belief in their own capability and purpose. This is the kind of confidence that can withstand any storm. It isn't dependent on whether the world sees your worth. It is simply a matter of fact to you. Finally, the relentless pursuit of external validation leads to a state of perpetual comparison. That is the number R. You're always measuring yourself against others, whether it's their career success, their social media presence, or their material possessions. This is a losing game, as there will always be someone who appears to have more, to be more. This comparison game drains your energy and blinds you to your unique strengths and journey. When you release the need for external praise, you also release the need to constantly compare. You are free to focus on your own path, your own growth, and your own progress, which is the only metric that truly matters. The journey to true self-confidence requires more than just thought or belief. It demands action. The second key point, face your fears through action, is the critical engine that transforms anxiety into competence. Fear is an imaginative construct. It thrives in the vacuum of inaction, growing larger and more intimidating the longer you avoid it. Thinking about becoming brave is a fruitless endeavor. Bravery is not a state you can meditate your way into. It is a muscle built through repeated exposure to what makes you uncomfortable. The only way to conquer a fear is to walk directly toward it, not with a giant leap, but with a series of small, deliberate steps. These are your training drills. This concept is the opposite of the fake it till you make it philosophy. Instead of pretending to be something you're not, you are actively doing something you fear, proving to yourself that you are capable of handling it. For a person with public speaking anxiety, the first step isn't to book a keynote, it's to speak up in a small meeting. The next step is to present a short report to colleagues. With each successful action, no matter how minor, you accumulate evidence of your own resilience and capability. This evidence is a powerful antidote to the poison of doubt. It's the difference between hearing a rumor about your strength and actually testing it in the field. Fear often manifests as a form of paralysis. It convinces you that the outcome will be catastrophic, so it's better to do nothing at all. This is a lie. The real catastrophe is a life lived in a cage of your own making, never pursuing opportunities because you are too afraid of the potential for failure or rejection. By choosing action, you break the spell of this lie. You learn that even if things don't go perfectly, you can handle the consequences. The experience itself becomes the reward, not the flawless execution, but the undeniable fact that you did it. You showed up, you faced the moment, and you survived. Every small act of courage builds upon the last, creating an upward spiral of confidence. This is how you change your self-perception from, I'm the kind of person who is afraid of X, to, I'm the kind of person who faces X regardless of my fear. You are not born brave. You become brave through your actions. This principle applies to all areas of life, from professional challenges to personal relationships. Do you fear a difficult conversation? Have it. Are you intimidated by a new skill? Start learning it. The purpose isn't to eliminate fear entirely. That's impossible. But to reduce its power over you. Ultimately, this is a lesson in self-mastery. By consistently taking action in the face of fear, you are training your mind and body to work together under pressure. You are demonstrating to your subconscious that you are a reliable leader of your own life. You are not a victim of your emotions, you are their master. This disciplined, action-oriented approach is the foundation upon which true, unshakable self-confidence is built. It is the practice that turns the theoretical into the tangible. True confidence isn't a state of mind you can wish into existence. It is the natural byproduct of competence. The third key point, build a foundation of competence, underscores a fundamental truth. You cannot feel truly confident in your abilities unless you have proven them to yourself through dedicated effort and skill acquisition. This isn't about natural talent, it's about the deliberate, systematic process of learning, practicing, and mastering a craft. Confidence rooted in competence is unshakable because it's built on a foundation of tangible results. It's the silent knowledge that you have done the work, faced the challenges, and have the skills to handle what comes your way. The illusion of competence is fleeting, but earned competence is a permanent part of who you are. The fake it till you make it mantra encourages a performance, a facade built on wishful thinking. In contrast, building competence is an internal journey of discipline and patience. It's the daily grind of showing up, putting in the hours, and incrementally improving. A confident public speaker isn't someone who just believes they can do it. They are someone who has delivered dozens of talks, studied their craft, and learned from every mistake. This process of building skill is what separates the pretender from the professional. Every new technique learned, every problem solved, and every small success is a brick in the wall of your self-assurance. This journey to competence is a powerful antidote to imposter syndrome. Imposter syndrome thrives in the gap between what you project and what you actually know. By investing in your skills, you close that gap. You begin to understand that your accomplishments aren't a fluke or a result of luck. They are the direct outcome of your effort. This understanding is profoundly empowering. When you know you are competent, you no longer need to fear being found out. You can stand on your work and let it speak for itself. Your confidence isn't based on your opinion of yourself, but on the undeniable evidence of your abilities. Furthermore, the pursuit of competence instills a sense of purpose and direction. When you are focused on improving a skill, you are channeling your energy into a productive and rewarding process. This focus shifts your attention away from self-doubt and onto the task at hand. It teaches you to love the process, not just the outcome. You learn to appreciate the struggle, the setbacks, and the small breakthroughs. This is a form of active meditation, a way of being fully present with your own growth. This focus on process over outcome is what prevents your confidence from being tied to a single success or failure. It becomes a continuous, self-sustaining loop of learning and growth. Ultimately, competence provides you with a sense of internal security that cannot be taken away. Unlike external validation, which can be withdrawn at any moment, the skills you acquire belong to you. You carry them wherever you go. This knowledge empowers you to take on new challenges, knowing that even if you don't succeed immediately, you have the ability to learn and adapt. It allows you to approach life from a position of strength, not from a place of seeking approval. Your belief in yourself becomes a statement of fact, not an empty assertion. It is the quiet power that comes from a deep and earned understanding of your own capabilities. Confidence born from discipline is not a feeling, it is a profound act of self-respect. Many people believe that freedom is the absence of rules, but in reality, true freedom is the result of a rigorous internal order. This fourth key point, embrace discipline as an act of self-respect, highlights that the ability to make and keep promises to yourself is the bedrock of genuine self-worth. When you consistently follow through on your commitments, whether it's waking up early, exercising, or completing a task, you are sending a powerful message to your subconscious. I can be trusted. My word is my bond, even to myself. This builds an internal integrity that no amount of external praise can replicate. Without this discipline, your life is ruled by fleeting whims and impulses, leaving you feeling adrift and unreliable, even in your own eyes. This self-discipline is the engine of personal accountability. It is the daily practice of choosing what you know is right over what feels easy. Every time you make that choice, you are reinforcing the idea that you are in control of your actions and, by extension, your life. This isn't about rigid, joyless adherence to a schedule. It's about a conscious commitment to your own growth. For example, that is the number R. A disciplined person doesn't skip their workout because they don't feel like it. They go because they made a commitment to their health. The confidence they gain isn't from the physique, but from the unshakable knowledge that they are a person who follows through. This quiet, unpublicized act of dedication is what builds the deepest and most resilient form of confidence. The practice of discipline also teaches you to tolerate discomfort for a greater purpose. Growth and mastery are almost always uncomfortable. Learning a new skill, pushing your physical limits, or having a difficult conversation all require you to step outside your comfort zone. By embracing discipline, you train yourself to endure this discomfort. You learn that pain is temporary, but the results of your effort are lasting. This is a crucial lesson for building confidence, as it prepares you to face future challenges without caving to the immediate temptation of comfort. That is the number R. You develop a mental toughness that knows you can handle the hard parts of life because you've already been training for them. Furthermore, discipline creates an internal sense of order that translates to reduced anxiety. When your life is chaotic and your habits are sporadic, your mind is in a constant state of low-level stress. By establishing routines and sticking to them, you bring predictability and control to your daily existence. This reduces the mental clutter and frees up energy that was once spent on indecision and procrastination. This newfound clarity and mental space allow you to focus on more meaningful tasks and goals, which in turn reinforces your sense of competence and self-worth. It is a virtuous cycle. Discipline leads to clarity, which leads to confidence. Finally, embracing discipline is an act of profound respect for your own potential. You are essentially telling yourself that you are worthy of the effort, the time, and the focus it takes to become the person you want to be. It is the opposite of selling yourself short. It is a daily acknowledgement that your goals are valuable and that you are capable of achieving them. This isn't about being perfect. It's about the consistent and relentless pursuit of self-improvement. It is a quiet, powerful statement that you are worthy of your own best efforts. And that statement is the very definition of authentic self-respect. True confidence isn't about being loud or dominating a room. It's about possessing a quiet, unshakable inner calm. The fifth key point, cultivate inner stillness, emphasizes that genuine self-assurance comes from being at peace with yourself, free from the constant internal chatter of doubt and anxiety. This stillness is not the absence of thought, but the ability to observe your thoughts without being controlled by them. When you are quiet inside, you can hear your own wisdom and intuition, which are often drowned out by the noise of external opinions and internal fears. This practice is the mental equivalent of a martial artist's discipline, learning to remain centered and focused amidst chaos. The constant need to be on and to react to every stimulus is a sign of an untrained mind. A truly confident person has the mental discipline to pause before they react. They don't need to fill every silence with words or respond immediately to every critique. This stillness gives them a significant advantage. It allows them to think clearly, to listen deeply, and to make deliberate choices instead of impulsive ones. In the moments of stillness, you can recognize that most of your fears are just stories your mind is telling you, not objective reality. That is the number R. By creating this space, you can detach from those stories and choose a more powerful narrative. Practicing inner stillness is a powerful way to reduce the impact of external pressures. The world is full of people who will try to make you doubt yourself, and circumstances that will challenge your resolve. If your mind is a turbulent sea, you will be tossed about by every wave. But if you have cultivated a deep, quiet center, you can remain anchored. This isn't about ignoring problems, but about approaching them from a place of clarity and strength. A person with inner stillness doesn't panic under pressure. They assess, plan, and act. This calm under fire is a profound form of confidence that commands respect without a single word. Methods for cultivating this stillness can be simple and accessible. Meditation, even for just 5 minutes a day, is a powerful tool. So is focused, deliberate work on a project you care about, where you become so absorbed in the task that your inner dialogue fades away. Even a simple walk in nature, where you pay attention to your surroundings rather than your worries, can help. The key is to find practices that allow you to step outside the constant stream of your thoughts and simply be present. This presence is the fertile ground from which true confidence grows. Ultimately, cultivating inner stillness is the practice of becoming your own rock. It means you are not dependent on external validation or the fleeting circumstances of life for your peace of mind. You have an internal sanctuary you can retreat to, a place where you are safe and centered. This self-reliance is the ultimate expression of confidence. It is the deep, quiet knowledge that you can handle whatever life throws at you, because your foundation is built not on the shifting sands of opinion, but on the solid bedrock of your own inner peace. A confident person does not fear failure. They see it as a valuable lesson. The sixth key point, learn from every defeat, highlights that failure isn't the opposite of success, but an integral part of the journey toward it. Many people are crippled by the fear of making a mistake, but this fear is based on a fundamental misunderstanding of the learning process. The only way to truly fail is to give up after a setback. Every stumble, every missed goal, and every rejection provides a powerful opportunity to refine your approach, strengthen your resolve, and gain a deeper understanding of the task at hand. The truly confident person knows this instinctively. They understand that their character is forged not in victory, but in how they respond to defeat. Seeing failure as a teacher requires a mental shift from a fixed mindset to a growth mindset. A fixed mindset sees setbacks as proof of personal inadequacy, while a growth mindset sees them as temporary obstacles that provide crucial feedback. When you adopt a growth mindset, you don't ask, "Why did I fail?" but rather, "What did this failure teach me?" This reframing is transformative. It turns a moment of potential shame into a moment of self-discovery and improvement. For example, if a business pitch fails, the confident person doesn't internalize it as a personal flaw. They analyze the feedback, revise their presentation, and prepare for the next opportunity with greater wisdom. Furthermore, embracing failure builds resilience. It's impossible to live a life of meaningful action without facing setbacks. The person who has never failed is the person who has never truly pushed their limits. By experiencing and learning from defeat, you develop the emotional and psychological toughness to handle future adversity. This resilience is a critical component of authentic confidence. You learn that you can take a hit, recover, and keep moving forward. This creates an unshakable belief in your ability to persevere, regardless of the outcome. You no longer fear the unknown, because you know you have the tools to handle whatever challenges arise. The person who fears failure becomes a prisoner of inaction. They stay within the safe confines of what they already know they can do, which stagnates their growth and prevents them from reaching their full potential. In contrast, the person who embraces failure is free to experiment, innovate, and take calculated risks. They understand that every no gets them closer to a yes, and every mistake is a chance to perfect their craft. This is the difference between an amateur and a master. The master has not avoided failure. On the contrary, the master has failed more times than the beginner has even attempted. Ultimately, learning from defeat is an act of profound self-respect and self-trust. It shows that you value your own growth more than you fear temporary discomfort or judgment. You trust yourself to handle the outcome no matter what it is. This trust, built on a track record of facing challenges and learning from them, is the quiet power that underpins all true confidence. It is the understanding that you are not defined by your mistakes, but by your willingness to learn from them and continue the fight.